This is a quick recording to show you how to install both R and RStudio. These are the instructions to follow if you're installing R and RStudio for the first time. These instructions also work to update R and RStudio. And so if it's been a while since you've used R or RStudio, following these instructions will install the newest version, which is the way to update your installation. First step is to install R. Here's the link. It'll take you to CRAN, which is the Comprehensive R Archive Network. Choose your operating system. So if you're on Linux or Mac, go ahead and click on those. Once you choose your operating system, then you're going to choose Base. This is the basic installation of R. So that's going to be what you want. And then click Download to get the current version of R for your operating system. This will take a couple seconds to download in the background. Once you've got that downloaded, you can go ahead and install it. So a couple more seconds for me on the install. Click Run to run through the install, and then pretty much all of the options you can go with the defaults for installing R. I guess I usually uncheck the create desktop shortcut. Otherwise, everything else I leave default, and then it will take just a few minutes to go ahead and install everything. Once everything's installed, then you can go ahead and click Finish. R is now installed on your system. You can verify it by going ahead and typing in R GUI is sort of install along with R. Don't recommend actually using it, but what we'll use for our ID in this class is RStudio. Though I will say if you prefer a different development environment, such as VS Code or something else, feel free to use that. But second step is to install RStudio Desktop. So navigate to Posit's website. Scroll down. They say step 1 is to install R. We've already done that. Step 2 is to install RStudio. It should detect your operating system and give you the correct version to install. So go ahead and click on it, and it will take a second to download. Okay, once it's installed, go ahead and find it in your downloads. You should be able to select the defaults for, I think, everything as you're installing RStudio. Once the installation is finished, you can go ahead and click Finish. And then we're done with the installation steps, and now a couple more steps to sort of get ready to be able to use R. Go ahead and open up RStudio. For me, on Windows, I'll just open up and my Finder and search for RStudio. In Mac, similar steps. Find it in your Applications menu. So once you've got RStudio open, a couple steps to make life in RStudio better. First is go into Tools and Global Options. And under Workspace, you'll notice that I've got it unchecked, but by default, it starts off checked. You're going to want to uncheck Restore.RData into Workspace at startup. And then you can also change this Save Workspace to RData on exit to Never. These two settings will make sure that every time you open up RStudio, you've got a fresh start. Otherwise, it will sort of save the variables that you had at the end of your last session and load them in. The problem is that then it's really easy to make mistakes where uh, your code is running based off variables that you created a week ago. And especially then when you share that code with me as you submit assignments, I don't have the variables that you created a week ago. And so your code will not work on my machine. So this will make sure that every time you open R, you got a uh, fresh environment with no variables stored there, so that then when you share the file with me, I'll have the same condition of a fresh start with nothing there, and make sure that we create everything that we need every time we open R, and that's what we'll have kind of R files that will do that. Okay, so then click OK or apply, and that will set the setting. Then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to install a couple packages. Couple ways that you can do this is if you open up one of the files that I share with you, an R Markdown file, and there's ever a yellow ribbon across the top of the file, it's saying that there's packages being used in that file that you don't yet have installed. And so then there'll be a banner here. Here, let me actually change something. Okay, this is what that yellow banner looks like. It will say some packages are required but not installed. And you can go ahead and click install. And that's the easiest way to install packages. If you ever see this yellow bar, feel free to go ahead and click install, and it will start installing all the dependencies of packages that you need for that file. The other way that you can install packages is go up to Tools and Install Packages, and then you can type the name of the package that you need. So in this case, here are the 4 packages that I'm going to want you to install. They'll also be there the first time you open one of the files that we're going to use them in. So feel free to wait till then, or go in and put each of these package names in here and then click install, and it should install. If you have any errors coming up from that, feel free to send me an email and we can try to jump on Zoom and debug and figure out what's going on. Okay. That'll be it for this video. If you've got questions on how to install R and RStudio, don't hesitate to ask.